everybody. Welcome to the Tournament Center here at Pro Tour Shatters over Innistrad in Madrid, Spain. I'm Brian David Marshall. I am joined by R&D member Ian Duke. Ian, one of my favorite features to come out after every Pro Tour is the draft viewer. You get to sit down in the seat of one of the great players of the game and relive what you would do in their place in a draft. You can see every single pick they made. I'm going to give you the opportunity to play the role of two-time world champion Shahar Shenhar. He was in a pretty stacked table. Let's see what his first pack looked like. Ian Duke, tell me what's going through your mind as you look at this pack.
All right, so standout cards are Asylum Visitor, Dauntless Cathar, let's see, Rabid Bite, and yeah, maybe is that a Rise from the Tides?
It is a Rise from the Tides over there.
Yeah, so that's an exciting card, but probably not something I'm going to first pick. I think if I were at an F&M, I might take Asylum Visitor just to check it out, since it is a rare, to see how good it is. Maybe try to draft Madness-based Black-Red Vampires or something.
Let's see what a world champion takes. Rabid Bite.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I think it's the safer pick here for sure. Yeah, just goes great in like an aggressive red-green werewolves deck or something along those lines.
All right, let's take a look at the next pack here for Shahar. As we move on in the packs. There you go. Not a lot of green to follow up Fork in the Road and Moldgraph Scavenger. What else stands out for you here? Maybe an Arsonist?
I like Howlpack Wolf, and I like Dance with Devils. Dance with Devils is a card that looks sort of innocuous, but it's just so flexible, and you can get a ton of value out of it. It's an instant, so you can sort of pass the turn, flip your werewolves, and then play it. I think that's better than the rest of the cards in here, although Sinister Concoction is also really good, but it depends on how well you like the combination of black and green, I think.
Interestingly, something like Gas of Arsonist might be a better pick at a Friday Night Magic where you could signal that you were red, but the players are playing with sleeved cards here, so there is no indication when you pick a double face card. Let's take a look at Shahar's pick. It is Dance with Devils. Make 2 1/1s that when they die deal 1 damage. Okay, moving on. So we're red-green. We see another Dance with Devils, another Howlpack Wolf. There's also a Stoic Builder. Are those the cards you're looking at here, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I like Dance with Devils a lot. Second one can start to get a little bit clunky, so I wouldn't fault anyone for picking the Howlpack Wolf here. But those are probably the 2 that are highest on my pick list here.
All right, let's take a look at which way Shahar went. He went, so he's thinking, you're thinking like a world champion now. You are thinking like a world champion, Ian Duke. Howlpack Wolf, lower your curve.
Yeah, it's interesting to see he had that same decision 2 packs in a row and went for 1 and 1 rather than 2 of the same. So definitely considering his curve there.
Okay, more Howlpack Wolves. They do run together. Ulrich's Kindred, Voldaren Duelist, sort of switching monster tribes.
Yeah. Voldaren Duelist and Howlpack Wolf are both great red commons that I love to have in any aggressive deck. Ulrich's Kindred, I think, is a higher power level than either of those 2, and the other color card we have is a green card in Rabid Bite. So I like Ulrich's Kindred here a lot, but I certainly wouldn't fault anyone for staying red and keeping your options open and maybe discarding that Rabid Bite later on.
All right, let's see which way he went. He did go with the Ulrich's Kindred, so he can make his werewolves indestructible. All right, moving on. Senseless Rage, Thornhide Wolves, Inspiring Captain, Confront the Unknown. What do you like here?
Nothing terribly exciting here. I mean, Confront the Unknown is a card I'm always fine playing. We don't have any Madness outlets for Senseless Rage yet, so I don't like that pick that much. Thornhide Wolves is okay,
kind
filler
of
level
it's a vanilla creature.
Yeah, I'd hope to replace it though. I think I would probably go with Confront the Unknown here.
Lots of blue going around the table. Do you start to take notice of that?
It's also, yeah, it's somewhat tempting to pick up one of the stronger blue cards and maybe keep your options open a little bit. So.
All right, let's take a look at the pick. It is Confront the Unknown. Cheap combat tricks have been all the rage since Fabrizio Interi won his Grand Prix last weekend. Let's take a look at pack 6. All right. Kessig, Dire Swine, Pyrehound, Malevolent Whispers in our colors. Some pretty premium white cards here in Thraben Inspector and Moorland Drifter. Not a lot else. What do you like here?
The Dire Swine is not really at its best in red-green. I think that's sort of a replacement level card. You'd hope to get something better. And Pyrehound, you really need to be instant and sorcery heavy, which we are not right now. So I don't like either of those choices. Malevolent Whispers looks pretty good here. I'd be happy main decking 1 or having flexibility of having 1 in the sideboard. So I think that's probably the best pick.
Let's see the pick. It is Malevolent Whispers, so the threaten, but if you have Madness, it could become Rave Command. All right, moving on. So we've got only 2 packs left where we haven't seen any cards yet, and we get a pretty late werewolf pick here in Convicted Killer or Aim High. I guess those are our two options if we're staying on course, and of course 2 pieces of equipment.
Yeah, I personally think Aim High is just a stronger card. I like having combat tricks to round out my aggressive deck. Convicted Killer is not a card I'm excited about because it's just so bad on the front side until you transform it. Grey Ogre is just not a card I'm excited about. That said, it is a werewolf and it's early, so there is possibility to get more werewolf synergies as the packs go on, but I would pick Aim High here.
As the packs go on, nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's see which card he took. He did take the Convicted Killer.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Okay, moving on. So this is the last card, fresh look at cards we're going to get. Good news for you. There's another Aim High that you didn't get to take last pack.
Yeah.
That maybe you can take this pack if you don't take a Crawling Sensation, which I don't know how
I don't think Crawling Sensation is a card you want in red-green. And that looks like the way we're shaping up. So Aim High, I think, is the pick here.
Let's take a look.
Pretty clearly.
Yep. Aim High, so now there's 2 combat tricks in our red-green deck, and then we get to look at our first pack that we opened, and we see what comes back. And by the way, it's 3 blue cards that I've played in my decks pretty consistently. So
yeah, blue definitely looks pretty open in this
and
seat,
or deep.
But I think things are also going well for Shahar here. And Moonlight Hunt, just a perfect card for a deck that's shaping up to have a lot of wolves or werewolves.
Yeah, each creature you control that's a wolf or a werewolf. That's good. That's good for Shahar here.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's what he picks. There you go. Let's take a look at where he was after pack 1. So you see from the Moonlight Hunt, you've got a Stoic Builder and a Watcher of the Web. There were a lot of those at this table. So solid red-green going into pack 2.
Yeah, I mean, a little shallow so far with what we have. It doesn't look like any of these 5 cards here are going to make the cut. Maybe like Stoic Builder to fill out the curve or something.
Okay.
But
So let's take a look at what he was looking at as the packs change direction for the second go-around.
wow, so Lightning Axe just jumps out as a great card, one of the best
red uncommon.
Yeah, probably one of the best uncommons, period. Play it in any deck. It's even better with Madness. We do have a Madness card so far. I don't see anything else that really contests that. Neglected Heirloom is also a really good card, but not
great
on
in
the
a werewolf deck.
Yep, not on the level of Lightning Axe.
It's easy to trigger it. Thing in the Ice, not something you want to splash in a creature deck.
Yeah, important to note though that it's in the draft. I mean, somebody might be doing that.
Let's see the pick. It is Lightning Axe. Moving on to pick 2, we see a Werewolf and Hinterland Logger, another Moonlight Hunt, Moldgraf Scavenger, not something we want. So do you just take the Logger here?
It's an interesting pick. I think Moonlight Hunt has the potential to be a stronger card in Shahar's deck. You know, looking forward to how the rest of it's going to shape out. But that said, it did come around 9th pick in pack 1, so there's a chance it might wheel. And Hinterland Logger is just a safe pick that fills out your curve and ensures you have enough werewolves to make your first Moonlight Hunt work.
All right, let's reveal the pick.
I like the Logger.
Yeah, it is the Logger. Okay. Moving on. So now, you know, we didn't take Crawling Sensation before. We're not going to take it now. Moonlight Hunt versus Ulrich's Kindred.
Yeah,
so this is the werewolves are wide open here.
I think Ulrich's Kindred is the pick here. I think it's overall a more powerful card than Moonlight Hunt, but they're close. But just ensuring that you have enough wolves and werewolves in your deck in order to play the Moonlight Hunt that you already have, and maybe one of the 2 that might wheel, I think the Kindred is the better pick.
I want to know what the pick is, and I want to know why Skeet Ulrich has Kindred. There you go. He takes the wolf. Let's move on to pick 4. And there's more wolves here for us. There's an Ember Eye Wolf, which is a nice low curve creature. There's another Rise from the Tides here.
This is not an exciting pack for Shahar. I mean, it's important to note the Rise from the Tides is there. If you're really scared of someone going deep on that deck, you could counterdraft it. Ember Eye Wolf is decent, though, and it is a wolf.
Do you like Tormenting Voice in a deck like this?
I don't love it in a deck like this. I like it a lot more in blue-red spells or maybe red-black madness. So I think I would pick the Ember Eye Wolf, but I'm not super thrilled to do it.
Let's take a look. There it is. Trades up, gives you something to do with your mana in the late game. Can be a nice card. Okay. Now, wow, there are some good options here for the deck. Reduced to Ashes, Convicted Killer, Malevolent Whispers, and Grand Prix Barcelona breakout card, Rush of Adrenaline.
Yeah,
what do you like here?
There are some fair options here. I think Malevolent Whispers is maybe the most powerful of these. Reduce to Ashes is also a great removal spell. You know my thoughts already on Convicted Killer, although we do have plenty of Wolf and Werewolf synergy, so that's gone up over the course of the draft. And some players are really swearing by Rush of Adrenaline. It's not a card I personally like because I really like my combat tricks to ensure my creature trades up and survives. And with only giving 1 toughness, it's not great at that.
So you like Aim High better than Rush of Adrenaline?
I do for that reason in general, yeah, and also ambushing flyers. I think I would pick Reduce to Ashes just because we're a little short on removal for big creatures here.
Show us the pick.
I think any of these are reasonable.
He stays on theme. He's building a tribal deck in. The tribe is werewolves and wolves. All right, so I think that's all we're going to look at from that set of packs. And there you see, got a silver for Partisan late in that pack.
That's really huge.
Gets an Uncaged Fury. The Rush of Adrenaline comes back around to him.
Yeah,
so he's got the whole combo here.
Yeah, it looks like he picked up some solid stuff through the rest of this pack. I mean, the Partisan is just a great card, and this card is capable of some huge damage, especially on transformed werewolves.
We saw Fabrizio doing that. You know, it's basically become Immense and Temur Battle Rage when you get that and Rush of Adrenaline together.
Right.
Okay, let's take a look at what his third pack was looking like as he opens up for pack 3. A heartbreaking Sigarda Heron's Grace here that is not available to him. And really nothing else other than a Village Messenger. How do you like the 1-drop Haste Werewolf?
I mean, it's very solid on the play, but if you're ever in a situation where you can't transform it, it's almost like you're just down a card, only having a 1/1.
There's also an Uncaged Fury. Could you see taking that over the Werewolf here?
I think if I wanted a card for my deck, I would take the Village Messenger. There's also something to be said for just taking the Sigarda out of play and maybe even splashing it, depending on how the rest of the pack goes. But I would probably personally pick Village Messenger here because I'm not really big into counter drafting.
Show us the pick.
But it looks like Shahar does
go
for
that's funny because there was a Sigarda at the table that someone ended up playing.
Oh, interesting.
So that's funny. There were 2 of them. I assumed that the Sigarda was going to go away.
Yeah, so Shahar either taking one of those out of play or maybe keeping the option. There are some times where you sideboard a card like that in with a splash.
And worth noting that the werewolves are humans on their front side, so they do get protected by Sigarda.
Yep.
All right, so a couple of good cards here in Byway Courier and Hermit of the Natternalls. I assume Hermit gets the nod here because of Werewolf synergy?
Definitely because of Werewolf synergy. I think pack 1, pick 1. I like the Byway Courier slightly better, but Hermit is very close in power level, and it's a Werewolf. So
you see a lot of blue cards going around the table too. Maybe Hermit of Natternalls looks a little better. What's the pick? There you go.
Yep.
Pick 3. Show us on the board. And there's a Quilled Wolf.
Yeah, I like Quilled Wolf a lot. It'll be a perfect fit for the deck. We don't have a lot of 2-drops so far, just the Hinterland Logger. And
I think the Ember Eye Wolf.
And the Ember Eye Wolf, right.
Sure.
So I'm happily snapping that up.
How important is it just for the R&D? I know that you have the World Champion app, but from the R&D hat, to have cards that come down early that sort of like let you trade or get in for some damage, and then in the late game you can use your mana.
One of the keys to, key cornerstones to drafting a great deck is having a really nice curve, but also things to do later on in the game, and Quilled Wolf does both of those.
Yeah, if you're not drafting Quilled Wolf, I predict as you draft this format more and more, this is a card that's going to go higher and higher in your pick order.
I think that's true, yeah.
All right, so what's the pick here? He does take the Quilled Wolf. Move on to pick 4. There's a Geist Blast that we know goes all the way around the table. There's another Rabid Bite and a Reduce to Ashes. I have to assume
it's going to be the Rabid Bite. Yeah, I think it's just a stronger card than Reduce to Ashes, and clearly the strongest card in the pack.
There is the Rabid Bite. Okay, perfect. It's a very flavorful deck. Obsessive Skinner, Gastaff Arsonists, Intrepid Provisioner, and Tormenting Voice are basically our options here.
Yeah, I would go with the Obsessive Skinner with no plans for reliably getting Delirium. In fact, I don't know if we'll be able to at all in this deck, but it is just a Grizzly Bear on turn 2 if you put the counter on itself, and it gives you additional flexibility.
Okay, what's the pick? Shahar Shenhar. He does take Obsessive Skinner. Okay, and then we're going to look at one last pick here. There's a Solitary Hunter, a Stoic Builder. I'm sensing a theme of loneliness here, and a Moldgraph Scavenger.
Yeah,
and a Howlpack Wolf. I didn't even see that there.
Yeah, so it's between the Howlpack Wolf and the Solitary Hunter. I think the Howlpack Wolf gets the nod here just because of curve reasons. It's just lower on the curve. And it also counts for all your Wolf/Werewolf synergies.
All right, so let's take a look at how the pack played out in the end. After the Howlpack Wolf, it might be on reason, a Deathcap Cultivator, a Scavenger voice, Provisioner, and Scavenger. So there was, I believe, another Moonlit Haunt. Maybe was that early in this pack, or was that late in that last pack? But those did not come back around.
They did not come back around. Yeah, important to know.
Interesting. What was your thought on the deck? Give this deck a grade?
I think it was pretty good. I mean, I think Shahar handled the draft well and probably ended up with like maybe a B+, A- level deck.
Okay.
I think it's solid, but not spectacular.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how it plays out. You can put yourself in Shahar Shenhar's seat. You can go to the draft viewer. Oh, by the way, you can also put yourself in Reed Duke's seat, Martin Mueller's seat, Ryuichi Tamada's seat. There's a lot of really good seats that you could put yourself into. Go check it out. See what you would do before you head out to Friday Night Magic this week. For Ian Duke, this is Brian David Marshall.